My son's best friend's mom wanted to stay for the playdate, but after I looked her up, I found out she is a criminal and a junkie, so I told her she can't stay, and now she is mad at me. My husband, 28 male, and I, 27 female, have a 5-year-old son who just started kindergarten this past fall. He has met a boy named Sam, who he has decided is his best friend. My son has had a lot of playdates in the past because we tried hard to socialize him well from a young age. He has been asking if his friend Sam can come over for a playdate. Sure, no problem. I wrote a note with my name and number for Sam to give to his mom. I get a friend request from Sam's mom, who appears to be a methany. I work in healthcare and recognize the sores on her face from picking. It's pretty obvious from her profile that she is on some kind of substances and maybe has mental health issues. Out of curiosity, I looked up her name in our county's jail view record and yup, long history. Substance possession, fraud, prostitution, theft, battery, obstruction of justice. It's not great. Anyways, I didn't want to let who his mom is get in the way of our kids playing together. But there was no way in hell I'd let my son go over to their house for a playdate, despite her offering. I played it off as me being overprotective and him being my only child, to not offend her. She laughed and said if you have more you'll learn to be less overprotective. She has 5 kids, but agreed to a playdate at my house. The park was also an option, but she said my house was fine. The weather is very cold here right now, so indoors over the park makes sense. Sunday comes over, I let the boy in. I mentioned she could come back in a few hours to pick him up, whenever works for her, and I'd be sure to feed them both lunch. I asked if he has any food allergies, she says no. But she insisted on staying. I tried to make up a silly excuse, said I had a headache and would watch the boys diligently, but that I'm not really in the mood to hang out. She insisted that it would be great for us to get to know each other. Since the boys were out of earshot, already in the playroom, I stepped outside and quietly told her that I had looked up her criminal record, and I just don't feel comfortable having someone in my home with theft charges and an obvious substance problem. I said if that's a problem we could just meet at the park from then on, but the boys get along so I hope it's not a problem. I admit I was maybe a bit harsh and to the point. She kind of yelled at me and said I think that I'm better than her, which maybe I do, and that I don't know anything. She stormed off, her son still in the house. I checked with the kids to make sure they didn't hear anything. When she came back she just honked her horn and refused to come to the door. My husband kind of thinks I'm a butthole. He's always been very gentle and kind. He thinks I should have just watched her like a hawk. I told him I don't want to forcefully subject myself to that kind of person, and I shouldn't have to be on guard about some crackhead stealing our stuff. Am I the butthole?